This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is, among other things, the executive chairman of Empress Royalty, a man that needs no introduction if you work in the resource space. I'm talking about, of course, Mr. David Rhodes. David, it's great to have you on. How are you today, sir?
Yeah, very well, thank you. And thank you for such a wonderful introduction.
No, listen, thank you for your time. It's always a pleasure when I can get someone of your background on the show. And I want to start there. I mentioned that you're the executive chair of Empress Royalty, which is interesting to me because Empress is a relatively small company given your accomplishments and your background. So, for those that may not be familiar, can you just briefly touch on your storied career?
Yeah, sure. No, thanks for that. So I've been in the industry over 25 years, and I started in the investment banking world. Barclays Capital was one of my main employers many, many years ago. And then I joined a company called Endeavour Financial. And Endeavour is one of the largest financial advisors in the mining and metal space. And that company's been going 30 years, and I'm the managing director of that company. And we took that company private about 16 years ago now, about 16 years ago, and obviously I run that business. And that business is in this mining and metal space. It's in the financing world of mines and companies around the world. And we saw about 6 years ago that there was no one out there looking to do small streams and royalties, of which the like that Empress does. So when you look in the marketplace, you can't see anybody doing it. There's no competition. What do? You set up your own company. And Endeavour, with Terra Capital, an Australian private equity fund, we set up the company, got the team together, which is quite a few people have worked with us before at the Endeavour, in the Endeavour fold, if I can call it that, and set up Empress. And it's really, it's going great guns, as I'm sure we'll discuss, because we're only, as you say, we're fairly young, we're only less than 5 years old. And we're making a lot of money and making a lot of cash, which is what it's all about for our shareholders.
Well, listen, you're being modest. You've raised over $12 billion of funding for mining companies. So when I see that background and I see the network that you've developed over the years, it's really curious to me what it is that stuck out about Empress Royalty, and I'd love to just touch on that because it's rare to have someone of your background, your experience, and your network come to a company that's relatively new and put together such an impressive team, right?
That's kind of it. As you can tell, I'm English, so we're understated. So I appreciate you doing the plug for me. Well, John, there's two things really. It's firstly, from a purely business point of view, Endeavour Financial needs people to provide finance to its companies, our clients that we work with. So setting up Empress met a need that Empress Financial has, which is if there's any small streams and royalties to be done, it's got a potential participant there, being Empress Royalty. Secondly, the royalty and streaming model is a beautiful model when you think about how to invest and how to actually get into the gold and silver market, which obviously the key priority here for Empress is gold and silver. They don't do any other metal but gold and silver. So it was a perfect route really for two things. Firstly, for Empress to enter into a market where there's limited competition and therefore you can get very attractive returns. Secondly, it was a way for Endeavour Financial to have a new participant in the marketplace that could actually fulfill any needs if any of its clients needed a smaller stream of royalty. So it's really meeting two needs. Additionally, we saw a lot of value in driving this business from where it is today, keep growing it to make it obviously a very worthwhile medium term, $500 million or coming up to $1 billion market cap company in about another 5 years' time. So there's really three aspects to it, but the main one really was seeing a great opportunity to make money for shareholders. We're a major shareholder, so we make money for ourselves as well, and a good 5 year to 10 year, value play of making a good sized market cap company.
You touched on being a shareholder. I have to believe it's really the perfect storm right now for Empress, being focused on gold and silver, having gold above $3,000, having silver, wanting to break out of that $33, $34 range. I don't think it's a coincidence you've also attracted the likes of shareholders like Rick Rule, which, of course, much like yourself, storied, accomplished career, doesn't need an introduction. But how do you see the overall landscape for the precious metals right now?
So I was just come back from the Swiss Mining Institute conference where we see lots of our investors every year. And I was there last year. So exactly, last year and same time last year. And I was saying gold's going to 3,000. And they all looked at me with a bit of a quizzical look and went, he's such a promoter. What a promoter. And to be honest, the advice from the analysts I work with and the experts in the industry that go through all the charts and all the structuring of the deals, they gave me information. They said it's going to 3,000. And I met with them again only a couple of days ago, last week, and they're saying it's going to 5,000. And we set this company up just to do gold and silver, purely on the basis we've always tried to keep business simple. So keep it to two metals, keep it to precious metals. Don't mix it up with base metals, which have a different analysis about how you calculate and how you value those types of businesses. So keep it to precious. And yes, we did understand the market. Yes, we do have some great experts behind the scenes, which give us the why gold we think is going to do well. So we've been always bullish on gold. So 3,000, we believe by mid to end of next year, it'll be over 5 and moving forward. In addition to that, we're even more bullish on silver. We think silver's going to $50 and potentially could spike well over $100 an ounce in the next less than 2 years, really, by the end of 26. And that's all based on fundamental data done by our experts looking at the marketplace. So very exciting times in the marketplace, very, very exciting times. And I was trying to, at the conference, get to be very excited on the opportunity because Empress has gold and silver within its portfolio. We're looking to quickly, obviously, develop and stretch out our portfolio to take advantage of what we believe is going to be an awesome, next 18, to end of 26 run in both the gold and the silver price. So very exciting times.
Well, listen, I'm a contrarian by nature, but I have to admit, it's one thing. I'm also an optimist by nature, which is kind of curious, right? But it's one thing for me to think that gold is going to 5,000 and to think that silver is going to 50 and higher. It's a whole nother thing when David Rhodes comes on and tells you that based on the analysis and based on the charts and based on history, that's where you and your team see the gold and the silver price headed. What comes next for Empress? What is going to be the strategy? I got to believe it's a fertile environment for streams and royalties, and especially given your network and capital markets background.
Yeah, well, what we've done in the first 5 years of this company is get it stabilized. And by saying stabilized, we produced $8 million of revenue last year. That meant we're cash flow positive, we're generating cash, our treasury is now building up with cash, which is great. In addition, we have organized a $20 million credit line, which is available. So we've got $20 million to spend as well. And we're projecting, well over $15 million of revenue this year, and that's at lower prices than we're seeing today. So we've got our business in a great position where it's producing cash, it's got available credit. So we are going to start strengthening and developing our portfolio, which is doing more gold and stream royalties and streams to drive our revenue and increase our revenue, drive our business and grow it from now. And we no longer need to worry about being a small company that doesn't have enough cash flow, it's not cash flow positive. We're now at that point. So from using some metal is now going to kick on and really develop our portfolio and take advantage of the fantastic opportunities we have and also what we're going to see in the marketplace, increasing gold and increasing silver prices.
Well, listen, you're cash flow positive with silver just under $33 and gold just over $3,000. You're going to be very, very cash flow positive with gold at $5,000 and silver at $50. It's been an absolute pleasure, David. Anything else you'd like to add?
Just if anybody else wants to do any analysis or chat further with me, please contact me, obviously via yourself, or can get me on the usual websites on that basis, and happy to chat more and just have a look at the other people out there talking about silver. It's interesting. And Market Watch is one of those websites that I look at, and I saw something pop up just as we were talking, saying silver's going sky high. So just look at what's happening in the marketplace. Get on the wave. Get on that wave. You know, when cycles happen, you've got to get on that wave and ride that cycle. So please join us.
I couldn't agree with you more. We've been waiting a long time for this market to shape up the way it's shaped up. And yeah, I just agree 100%. This is the time to maximize the cycle because it's definitely in our favor. David, it's been an absolute pleasure. I look forward to having you back on. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Great. Thanks, Gerardo. Have a good day.
Chat soon. Cheers.
Thanks all. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, Gerardo Del Real here. If you're enjoying the content that you just saw, you can let us know in 3 simple steps. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share across your network and on social media. Take care, everybody.